We have some groundbreaking changes to cover in this video as Ripple just partnered with Chainlink in what will likely be a $1 trillion+ alliance. Now, currently the market cap of XRP is sitting at about $132 to $133 billion. If you scroll just slightly down, rank number 14 is Chainlink, sitting at about $13.2 billion in terms of market cap. They both combine a market cap of $146 billion between the two. But this isn't what I'm referring to when I talk about a $1 trillion alliance, as Ripple will continue to dominate the market when it comes to servicing global banks, offering CBDCs for central banks, and even stablecoins to their clients, among their other business offerings, while Chainlink operates as the largest crypto oracle and data service. And it's not even close. They dominate the market and currently have a total value staked of about $34.5 billion with 408 different protocols in crypto secured. And that's not including businesses outside of crypto. That said, their next closest competitor is Pyth right here with 243. In other words, Chainlink has a TVS almost 3 times the size of its current market cap, which means they are not only reliable, but they are the biggest gorilla in the room. In other words, this alliance will truly be unstoppable. And in this video, not only will I cover just how this partnership will integrate the likes of Swift, one of the leading payments networks in the world, which currently services over 11,000 banks and processes quadrillions of dollars yearly between them using the new ISO 222 standard. But I'll also cover some interesting news from the XRP Avengers account that came across my desk recently and would allow for XRP to replace Swift, according to the CEO of Mastercard. So we'll be covering that, and we'll also be covering the recent price action, what's caused the latest market dump, and more. So if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the wealthiest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Hello and welcome back to the channel, Bull Runners. If you're new here, my name is Paul, and you can find me on Twitter or X at PauliDeFi, PAULIEDEFI. Now, really quickly, I want to cover what actually caused the markets to turn sharply. More specifically, on Tuesday, everything kind of turned down pretty heavily, as even XRP dumped from about $2.47 for an 8.5% move to the downside, down to $2.25. Currently, we're sitting at about $2.32. And the major reason is because everyone is paying attention to the US economy, non-farm payrolls data, and the Fed Reserve minutes, as the sell-off was likely driven by rising US bond yields ahead of these economic reports. And rising bond yields typically signal expectations of a more hawkish stance from the Federal Reserve. In other words, they're not going to be dovish, and that simply means they're going to be more strict and stern with interest rates, keeping them higher for longer, as everything seems to be fine from an economic standpoint. But markets don't really like that. And so more often than not, markets will sell risk on asset classes like crypto and like TradFi markets, the S&P 500, tech stocks, you name it. But still, this didn't cause XRP to fall too hard. And we're going to cover the technical analysis and some price targets here very shortly, whether you're looking to enter XRP or whether you're looking for a stop loss just in case. That said, directly from the Ripple account, they said Ripple and Chainlink have partnered. RLUSD has adopted the Chainlink standard for verifiable data to fuel DeFi adoption with real-time secure pricing data. In other words, this is what an oracle online does. If you've ever heard of Larry Ellison, he's one of the richest people on planet Earth. He created the company called Oracle, and that's essentially what they do. They provide real-time data for all sorts of companies worldwide. You think about your cell phone even, right? When you look at the time, there has to be an oracle that accurately tells you what time it is in the time zone you're at all times. In other words, there are real things going on in the background background that make this world operate when it comes to the Internet of Things. And that is the same thing with RLUSD and with Ripple, Chainlink, so on and so forth. So the future of stablecoins is here. So this is actually really exciting news, considering Chainlink is one of the biggest players, if not the biggest player, in data and oracles in crypto. And essentially, Chainlink even went to their account and posted the Chainlink effect for stablecoins. And they show you that RLUSD will go directly to the Chainlink standard, which gives them access to their price feeds, which turns into composability for DeFi protocols in terms of lending, borrowing, DEXs, or decentralized exchanges, and even yield farming using RLUSD. This will create utility, which will then create growth in terms of users, volume, awareness, and this will expand RLUSD and the partnership between Chainlink. And just so you understand how important it is for a company like XRP to partner with Chainlink in terms of their RLUSD stablecoin, here is a post directly from Jake Claver that explains it really dang well. Now, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but if you want, you can pause this video and skim over or just look him up. At its core, Chainlink solves critical blockchain challenges, connecting smart contracts with real-world data securely and reliably. In other words, blockchains are isolated. They can't access external info like price feeds, weather data, or sports results. This limitation could severely restrict their usefulness in real-world applications. So with a product like Chainlink, this no longer becomes an issue. And how they do this is they incentivize their nodes on Chainlink to provide accurate data. If they try to submit false information, they face penalties. This creates a robust system where accuracy is rewarded and dishonesty is punished. And most importantly, when it comes to stablecoins, we've seen many collapse or many depeg, and we don't want these types of issues even if it comes to the data, because if you have issues with the data and let's say the price feed is off, this can create all sorts of trust issues among users and banks using RLUSD, and they'll no longer want to hold it, and this can depeg the price. You don't want those types of issues when you're a company as big as XRP or Ripple, and in particular with their RLUSD stablecoin as they integrate and implement many new partnerships and banks. Now, again, I'm not going to read this entire thing, but Chainlink doesn't just get the data from one source, they aggregate data from multiple sources, which makes it tamper-proof. And major institutions like Google and Swift and numerous banks have used and integrated Chainlink's technology. In other words, we're going to shorten this up. Chainlink bridges blockchain and the real world, making it a fundamental infrastructure. In other words, you cannot do all sorts of cool DeFi things in the DeFi world and truly have trust, although blockchains are transparent, unless, of course, you also have reliable oracles. And we just talked about how Chainlink is, if not the most robust oracle, definitely the most reliable. Now, speaking of Chainlink and Swift, I know there's been a lot of rumors around XRP either overtaking Swift or having major partnerships with Swift. However, one that we can actually verify directly from Swift.com in terms of the payments provider, Swift, UBS Asset Management, and Chainlink successfully complete an innovative pilot to bridge tokenized assets with existing payments systems. In other words, it is 100% confirmed and verified that Chainlink has partnered with Swift. And so off the heels of this Chainlink and XRP partnership, people have been creating posts and speculating. One of those being this post that we recently mentioned, the fact that the CEO of Mastercard has just announced that Ripple is set to replace Swift, and talks are already underway to utilize the XRP ledger for transactions. Now, this would be pretty interesting and actually huge. However, it is not verified, and I would argue simply not true. Sometimes it actually helps to go down to the comments to read what people are saying, and it doesn't mean that people are always right. But if you see, multiple people sharing that this is either old news or not verified or complete crap, maybe there's something there. That said, that news is based on an old video from the Mastercard CEO, Michael Maybach, who was, and this was quite a few years ago. However, this is exactly what he shared.
etc. What we're looking with the crypto, though, is where SWIFT would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, but payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement of the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace SWIFT. Ripple is one of the complementary networks, which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that.
And so notice what he says there. He is saying that blockchain technology solves a lot of current problems in the banking system when it comes to transparency and just how fast we see settlements. And that's exactly the problem that Ripple solves for many banks. However, for this news to be true, he actually mentioned that Ripple is not likely to replace SWIFT, and ultimately it would be a complementary technology. It's also important to double verify, as this post says Michael Maybach is the Mastercard CEO, but when you actually look up the CEO over at Mastercard, this is what he looks like, and the gentleman that we just saw looks nothing like him. This is not the same person. In other words, a lot of these accounts that post this type of stuff, sometimes they'll be, proper information, especially if it comes from Ripple or you see Brad Garlinghouse talking, as long as it's not AI. But ultimately, it does pay to double verify and do your homework. At the end of the day, this guy makes some really strong and good statements that I totally agree with. But now when you have a partnership between SWIFT and Chainlink, and then you toss XRP into the mix, it is very much possible that XRP could be a complementary technology to SWIFT and what they're trying to accomplish with all of their major partnerships. And what this also means is the fact that Ripple and XRP technology are on the radar of companies like Mastercard. And it's not just Mastercard, because Visa is also participating in Central Bank of Brazil's digital real pilot. Visa works with more than 70 crypto platforms. Visa has applied for a range of cryptocurrency related patents. And then Mastercard in 2023 introduced its MTN token, designed to make transactions within digital asset and blockchain ecosystem secure, scalable, and interoperable. And like Visa, Mastercard is also involved in several CBDC projects. And guess who one of their partners includes? Ripple. However, it's important to remember that Visa and Mastercard are very much a part of the old financial system, trying to get with the times. And at one point in time, they were definitely a monopoly. As this post even says, the Visa Mastercard oligopoly fleeces $138 billion a year from consumers. And here you have Senator Hawley grilling the CEOs of both Visa and Mastercard. Let's take a listen at just how bad this got.
Years, I understand it, there were 726 million Visa and Mastercard credit cards issued in the United States. That's about 2 for every 1 person in the United States of America. Do either of you know how much debt is owed on your networks, Ms. Kirkpatrick?
We're not the bank, so we don't have visibility into that information. We also don't generate revenue from interchange.
Oh, okay, you have no idea. Mr. Sheedy, do you know?
I don't know.
Well, let me help you out. Let's have a look. It's $1.17 trillion. $1.17 trillion is what consumers now owe on your credit card networks. Do either of you know what the average interest rate is on your networks? Ms. Kirkpatrick?
Oh, Senator, we're not the bank. We don't set the interchange.
I know,
we don't set
you
the
benefit
rates
from it, and you know. Do you know what it is? This is your business model.
We don't collect revenue from interest rates.
Do you know?
I don't, Senator.
I mean, do either of you read the newspaper? Forbes magazine just estimated last week that the average credit card APR in your networks is 28.75%. Average. 29%, let's call it. 29%. It's nearly doubled in the last 4 years. That is astounding, absolutely astounding. And you just testified a second ago that you've got more than 50% profit margin, and yet your testimony here today is you can't possibly survive if there's any competition. How can that be true? How can that be true? You've got debt like we've never seen before in American history. Your profit margins are as high or higher than they've ever been. You have 80% of the relevant market in the credit card interchange fees that we're talking about, and yet you couldn't survive if there's any competition? What am I missing?
Now, here is what's crazy, because essentially they operate a monopoly. At one point in 2005, there was a litigation that began and initiated by merchants or small businesses who claimed that Visa and Mastercard, along with several banks, colluded to set fees and rules for credit card transactions that were anti-competitive and violated antitrust laws. In other words, they were charging small businesses more than they legally should, up to 1 to 1.5% more. In other words, if you were in business between the years of 2004 all the way into 2019, well, Visa and Mastercard recently lost that lawsuit, and now they owe $5.54 billion in this antitrust lawsuit. And on February 4th, if you haven't filed a claim, you will not be eligible to get any money back. Now, here's the crazy part. Even if you were in business during those years, but you're no longer in business, you can still file a claim. If anyone at any point in time used a Visa or a Mastercard and you were a small business that was operating, again, even if it's bankrupt right now, does not matter. You could potentially get money back. And so far to date, we've actually helped almost 400 businesses file claims, and we've had more businesses file claims, but some people actually don't get anything back, maybe because their tax returns didn't all settle in or whatever. But at the end of the day, this is a white glove service. All you have to do is file a claim, and you could potentially get free money back that you did not know you had in this antitrust lawsuit, where Visa and Mastercard owe small businesses who took Visa or Mastercard during the years of 2004 to 2019 that money. That said, this business, which we have blurred out the names, got back $1,669 because they did a total gross credit card volume of $92,000 during those years. Then we had another business that did $424,000 of volume and is getting $6,000 back. Imagine getting $6,000 back that you did not know you were gonna get. Or this business at $200K is getting $2,300 back. Let's continue. This business is getting $68,000 back because they did $5.3 million of credit card volume processing Visa or MasterCards. We have another one getting $131,000 back, $18,000 back, $69,000 back, $50,000 back, you name it. The list goes on. At one point, we even had someone getting back almost $1 million. It's somewhere in this list. But all you have to do to file a claim, and again, the deadline is February 4th before they shut the doors on this deal, is click on the link down in the description below to file your claim for Visa or MasterCard settlement. And then if you want, you can read the information here, but all you have to do is fill out this quick form. Shouldn't take more than a few minutes. And when you've done so, we'll let you know whether or not you're going to get money back. There is a white glove service where you essentially pay $0, unless, of course, you actually get money back. So if you get money back, they take a portion of those fees. So be sure to click on that link below to file your claim. And by the way, even if you weren't in business during those years, we do offer an affiliate program where if you know people who were in business during those years, you can get up to 5% back as well. In other words, if you refer someone and let's say they did, $1 million in credit card transactions, and let's just say they get $10,000 back, then you would get 5% of that $10,000 they're getting back just for referring them. So this is literally a win-win-win scenario because Visa and MasterCard were a monopoly. They lost this lawsuit. It took them almost 20 years to finally finish it up, and you actually have to file a claim. Now, that said, let's dive into the price action on XRP. If you watched yesterday's video, you'll know the prices that I was talking about, but we'll go ahead and do it one last time. As you can see here, my current low that I would like for XRP not to break below is somewhere in this $2.20 range down to $2.18. Let's just toss that line at $2.18 as we consistently see support here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row, with one that we had was a bear trap. People were trapped into being bearish right here in this breakdown, only to see the market rally right against them. So as you can see, this one candle really popped right back into the range that looked to be healthy. Now, then I said I would like to see XRP at least hold this $2.30 to 32 cent range right here. As you can see, this is our next support. And as you can see here, this is exactly what happened. We had a breakdown on that negative report and reading today in the news, which came in on Tuesday, January 7th, and then the market rallied right back up to that $2.33 range. Now, that said, this could also be a little bit of a trap, but either way, even if we broke down just slightly further down to 225 one last time or 2 more days, doesn't really bother me as long as we stay in this range above $2.18. I'm actually pretty happy. What I would really like to see over the course of this upcoming week is a break above this descending wedge right here, which will truly confirm that we are now going to continue trending up. So a break above there and a break above $2.61 for what used to be our resistance both here and here should take us into new all-time high territory. Now, when you actually look at the volume right here, you can see that volume increased just slightly on the day with the sell volume. However, longer term, again, from a daily time frame, from that local Pico top, volume has just consistently been declining. So this is actually really good news as long as we continue to maintain this range and support. And to make matters better, we still have a confluence and a positive reading on the 10 and 20 EMA. We're currently being supported at that 20 EMA. So again, I would like to see at least hold this $2.32 to 33 cent range. Realistically, I'd like to see a break above here within the next 3-4 days. But if we don't, I just do not want to see us breaking down below that $2.18 range on any serious time frame, especially on a daily time frame. Even if we were to wick here and get supported right here, I'm happy. Now, what I'm really liking about XRP right now is that it's actually looking really strong relative to the majority of markets, especially when you look at something even like Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin from this exact same time frame is actually down further about 6.5%, while XRP is down only 3.3% and even pumped down to about negative 1.24%. Which means XRP is looking far stronger than Bitcoin in this dump, which is an indicator of not only buyers, but strong diamond hands. And then when you look at something like Ethereum, you can see that Ethereum is actually down worse at 8.83%. So that said, in the same time frame, XRP is not only outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum, but is the strongest of the top 3 by market cap. Again, a really good signal that XRP has a lot of strong buyers and diamond hands. So this would be my major play if I were going to buy any one of these 3 on a breakdown. And that's it for the video, folks. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe and like the video. It helps the channel out. Thanks so much for watching the video. And if you haven't already, head down to the link in the description below called bullrunners.com to check out Altcoin Pro University. This is your one-stop shop to become a crypto millionaire in 2025, as we provide all the right tools, training, and resources. We do live calls bi-weekly, and this year I will be doing calls as well where I teach people all sorts of stuff that I simply cannot get to on the channel, where I can answer any questions that you have live. We offer all sorts of things like altcoin picks from professionals, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, DeFi yields, airdrop alerts, expert courses and classes that we will consistently add to our library. And ultimately, we have almost 1,200 members. The price is currently at about $197. And at some point in the future, we will likely raise the price again, as we already did. However, if you get started before then, you will be grandfathered in or locked in at that rate. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by simply checking it out, watching this 26-minute video. And at the end of the day, with all of the value that we provide, you should be able to not only earn back what you pay into this thing, but it'll actually help you to maximize your gains this bull market cycle. So when you really think about it, you can wait a little bit longer, but why would you want to if you're missing out on all sorts of really unique or cool opportunities that you'll only get inside of Altcoin Pro University while the bull run is still in full effect? And when you really think about it, in this current market dump, this might provide another really unique opportunity for you to enter some altcoins at very exciting prices. So you don't want to miss out on those, and you don't want to wait any longer, especially if this sounds like something that is interesting to you. Now, what's really beautiful is this. In my opinion, this is the strongest thing about it. We have about 1,200 members that are actually paying to be here, which means these people are also very serious. And sometimes some of these people really provide some insane alpha in the chats that we have only in Altcoin Pro University. So go ahead and go to bullrunners.com, check that out. Thanks so much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one, my friend. Goodbye.